welcome everybody to the Ortelius architecture meeting for Thursday, March 2nd. Let me go ahead and drop the link to the doc so you can sign in. And let me go ahead and share. Okay. So some action items from last week or last couple of weeks. As we discussed, based on what Utkarsh told us around the NTF storage, that that it's relatively slow. So I have to update the architecture document to implement a push through process for the caching instead of doing a pull through. And then also I need to update based on Tony's comments on that front. Tracy, are you here yet?
Yes.
Were you able to get in touch with Brad?
I sent him an email, but I didn't hear back from him. Let me shoot it over again to him.
Okay. And the third one is kind of dependent upon the second one with the finding out where Brad is with the Argo setup and stuff. So those are our three action items that we have going on that front. Just on the PR front, Utkarsh, you got and Joseph, all your PRs are out there?
Yes.
All right.
All
right, so we need to, yeah, I'm all tangled up in my cord here. All right. So we'll get those taken care of. Utkarsh, that code that you did, that Python code was in the SBOM ledger repo, correct?
That is there in both. I've also added that in details. I think commons.
Oh, you moved it to commons. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. All right, perfect. Because I want to start utilizing that code and as part of that the next steps. So that's awesome. All right, cool. And then on the bounty program, I have some instructions from the GitHub folks on how we need to kind of set it up. They are actually now sending me pictures, screenshots on where to click because their whole world is kind of confusing. Kind of like what we said on one of our, I think it was our general board meeting. They and Sasha ran into this as well, where it's hard to figure out the perspective when you're filling out the forms. It looks like you are a sponsor as a contributor and you sponsor a project and then you get paid by the project as a sponsor. So instead of the other way around where you think you're going to be a project is a sponsor and that you are going to be a contributor and you get that viewpoint, So it's a little confusing. Sasha, maybe tomorrow, if you have time, or early next week, we can try to figure out the next steps on that.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
So Steve, can't you set up this sponsor profile for Ortelius itself, and Ortelius project should get the sponsorship, and you can, after that handle whom to distribute
That
as
is,
a content.
yeah. So that's where we have the money has been moved underneath the Ortelius organization. And as this is where the wording gets confusing. I think we are, it's called a sponsorship at that point versus a sponsor. So we have money in our sponsorship account. And that's where we just need to get everybody's personal GitHub side figured out. So you get your bank account information in there, and then there's some process, which is still a mystery to me, on how we actually move money from the Ortelius organization out to individual contributors. That is the mystery part. But I have a decent contact at the GitHub side that's kind of running the program. So if we get hung up, I can reach out to her and we can do a webinar or something like that, a web meeting to figure it out. Okay, has anybody else made any progress on your account and stuff for you setting up like your bank account?
Yeah, I think
I have
Arvind
done
and myself. Yeah, Arvind and myself has set up
Okay,
this
good.
sponsorship.
And yeah, also I got a sponsorship from Sasa Walton.
Okay.
Did you?
Oh, wow.
I know. You sow
No,
a
the
seed to
money-
start a forest.
I got money after 2 months, but sponsoring me.
Yeah, are you for Utkarsh and Arvind, did you have to go through Stripe as the processing agent, or
Yeah, yes.
okay?
There was option, I guess. Yeah, but I chose Stripe.
Yeah,
Okay.
mine is also enabled now. Yeah, I signed up with Stripe, but I had to like pretend I was from the UK because it's not available in South Africa. And once I got through that, I had to go back to GitHub and then go through the process. But then the GitHub process allows you, it doesn't matter if I was from South Africa, it allowed me to go through because I think it's done through, through them, right? Somehow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the movement of money will be from the money that's sitting in the Ortelius organizational account at GitHub. From there, once we do a payout, GitHub then sends the money to Stripe, and then Stripe will send the money to your bank account.
Cool. Yeah, mine's been approved. Yeah.
All right, cool. And let me know if you have problems in some countries, like Nikta, who's in Ukraine, isn't supported by the GitHub program. So we'll have to do a little bit of finagling to get money to him on that front. So what we'll probably have to do is I'll have to like pay myself and then turn around and do a Wise transaction over to Nikta on that front. It's things we can work out to get it to move the money around.
Yeah, I was hoping I could just use my Wise account too.
Yeah, they didn't. We talked to the Linux Foundation about using Wise, and they're like, well, we're going to reinvestigate it again because of the fees and stuff like that. So
Wise is the cheapest.
yeah,
I wouldn't use them if they weren't.
Yeah, they're cheap and easy to use. but the Linux Foundation just wants to do like, big transactions where they do like a Swift transfer and they pay the $50, but they're moving, $100,000 and it's not a big deal.
Ah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. But for the small guy, it's a big deal.
Yet for small little transactions that happen a lot, it's
Yeah.
they're not willing to do that, go that front.
Oh, okay.
All right. Any other questions on that?
Nope. I'll put my link there just to show you it's up and running now.
All right, cool.
Oh, this is how you're going to do it. You're going to go to people's sponsor pages and then when they do a bounty, you do it there and you sponsor it like that. And then does that come out of the Ortelius? I don't know.
That's what we need to
Sponsorship.
figure out.
Oh, is that the part you still need to figure out? Okay.
Yeah, Tracy, you're on
You
mute
are mute, Tracy.
Yeah. The
because
money's
there's an
in there.
echo.
There's the money's in there. We just have to finish the cycle.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay. If not anything else on that, just some updates on. We had some open issues around our security profile. So we had Artifact Hub. Already. Is now, as of yesterday, is now an A.
Yay.
It actually changes. This we need to keep an eye on. This changes daily. So one of the weird things was there was a CVE that got open in glibc, and that got reported and caused our rating to drop to an F. And what we needed to do is just Chain Guard and Wolfie already fixed the issue, so it's just a matter of rebuilding our Docker images, and that fixed it.
And if you go into Artifact Hub, would you star the project? I just checked it. We just have 1 star, so we probably should start collecting stars.
Let me grab the link. So the easiest way is go to Artifact Hub and just type in Ortelius. And there we are. Now we have 2.
And if you scroll down, you'll see the score.
So let me just copy this. So you'll see our vulnerability report here. So when we get the report, it breaks down each Docker image. So this is part of the monolith. There's the ingress for the for everything, and then like this one's one of the microservices. And you can see that we are building upon Wolfie, and some of them have to be built under Alpine because of like this scorecard uses a NumPy and Pandas, which isn't supported under the Wolfie Python image. So we had to change over to Alpine. So that's looking good on that front.
So why don't we?
What was that,
go ahead,
okay?
please. Yeah, what I was asking, if we have to see the security report every time we have to come to this URL, or is there any other dashboard kind of thing that we can monitor?
Yeah, there's if we go over to our project, and this is some of the configuration. So when we do our build, we collect our SBOM and our CVEs inside of Deploy Hub team. And so thanks to Arvin, we're able to scan things and check our security stance on GitHub. That information is we're bringing over into the Ortelius project inside of the Deploy Hub team. So we just have to set up some notification pieces. And we should think about, that's one of the architecture things is how are we gonna do notifications?
Correct. There should be a way to, set up alerts or something.
So what I'd like to see us do is to make sure that we have Ortelius in Ortelius. And we
is. Well,
so-
Ortelius is in Deploy Hub team, not in Ortelius.
So we should be looking at getting notifications sent out from Deploy Hub team to the Ortelius group when it has new CVEs, which is it knows if you bring it up, you can see the CVEs, but it doesn't automatically notify you. Be really nice if it notified you if your status changed.
Yeah.
So that should be, we should add that as a feature to the Rocinante project.
Okay, while you're there, go
Milestone.
ahead and open the issue.
Okay, I will do that right now.
What is Rocinante again?
It's the
What?
spaceship from
It's June.
yeah,
Oh,
We wanna-
June.
June is when we want to get that completed by.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of stuff in there. We should go over that.
some of the other things I've gone through and enabled at the security code stance. So I've enabled the Dependabots and some of the Dependabot ways to go ahead and automatically do pull requests. And then also the bump versions at that level. So some of the things that we were getting into were we were back versions in some of the Python code. So like yesterday I figured out how to use the latest version of SQL Alchemy, the 2.04 version. There's a couple things we had to tweak in the code, but that allowed us to fix some of the CVEs on that front. So if we actually look at our security vulnerability alerts, if we look at Dependabot, we're all up to date there. The code scanning, we had a bunch that we were able to go ahead and fix. Mainly a lot of this stuff was bringing in the latest version of Wolfie and things like that to fix those outstanding CVEs. So just staying on top of the most recent version of Docker images allows us to keep a clean stance. And then also like our secrets. We do have one secret that I gotta figure out where it's coming from.
Steve,
yeah.
Does this thing automatically create the PR to update the image, to update the offending? Okay.
Yeah. So if we go to, I think, can't remember which one it was. Let's look at scorecard again. If we look at the pull requests, yeah. So here it is.
Cool. Creates a PR for you.
Right. So this was created an hour ago. So this is this, I don't know why it's still showing it, because I think we bumped SQL Alchemy yesterday. So let's look at the code base. And normally you can do the PR here, or you can do it through a separate pull request. And so here the SQL Alchemy got bumped, but it hasn't figured out that it's been resolved. So I think the next time it comes along, it should go ahead and close these. If not, we just have to manually close them.
So what does it do now? It's automatically updated the version. Does it kick off a build?
No, well, it does kick off a build. So what will happen is, here's the files that it changed. It bumped the requirements text up to the 204. But I had a fixed code for 204 to work. So it's not always a good thing to automatically say, I want to bump the version. You actually have to test it.
Yeah.
So, and you can see, if we go back into that, you can see that it's coming from a Dependabot branch.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
So you could actually
that's
go
cool.
grab that branch and build with it. So like these other ones that came in today are weird ones. Why all of a sudden they came in?
Well, that's cool. Yeah, you can build off that branch and test it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very cool.
And like I said, the other, if you look at the Ortelius repo, this one's a little wonky because you'll see that it has 56 vulnerabilities. And the reason for this being is the code scanning is actually running a workflow against a Docker image that we no longer utilize. So it's taken, it went and found our Docker file at the root of the of our project, and it's building that, and that image, that Docker file has been updated. It's basically obsolete now. And because of that, it's giving us like a bunch of false positives. So that's something I gotta look at cleaning up. And then also from a secret scanning point of view, somewhere in our code, we have a token in there, but I don't know where. It says the line number. I have to look at that today.
Sounds like a job for RipGrep.
It's something weird. Yeah.
If you just use RipGrep, it'll find it quickly for you.
Yeah. It gives us the line number. Line 26,000. Yeah.
In session.java.
So this is
Atlassian.
another one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something, some weird key or it could be in a comment or something like that. I'll figure it out. I'm not that worried about that one, but that's what we have going on the security front for all the repositories. Now, even like our websites I've enabled, and our websites actually was having security issues yesterday because the Hugo template that we're using had its own. When we created the website, we ended up cloning Hugo and its submodules, and we actually brought in the Hugo user guide into our website. So even though we weren't referencing it, we had the whole Hugo user guide inside of our website, and that Hugo user guide was old and has a bunch of vulnerabilities in it. So it's one of those things that we're able to turning this stuff on, I think is going to really help us keep on top of our CVEs and stuff like that. Any questions on that front?
Okay, could we, I would like to introduce a new person to our meeting today.
Okay.
Gunjan reached out to me on LinkedIn. We had a chat yesterday. She is a college student and is interested in learning more and becoming part of an open source community. She wants to do Python coding, is what I understand. Gunjan, why don't you go ahead and tell us about a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to the team.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Myself, Fulji Kumari. I'm from Rajasthan in India. I'm pursuing bachelor's in computer science, and this is my first year. I have learned a lot of technology like Java and Python and SQL, the database concept. And now I'm looking forward with enhance my skills in the real life world.
Well, welcome aboard.
Yep,
So she's
welcome
going to
aboard.
need, she's definitely going to need some mentorship. So Gunjan, did you get your, did you join the Discord channel yet?
No, ma'am, I didn't join.
Let's make sure, let's get that done right now.
Can you
Steve,
please send the link?
yeah, Steve, can you put the, an invite link for her in the chat?
Yep, grabbing it right now.
And I'm going to share her. Gunjan, would you share your LinkedIn profile? Or can you do
Sure.
that? I can do that. I don't know if you're on a phone or.
Oh, come on. There it is. There's the Discord link.
So Gunjan, Arvin is also a university student. He's been with us for, how long have you been with us now, Arvin? About a year?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years. My goodness, time flies. Arvin started slow, but now he's become a pretty critical part of the team. He has been working on pull requests, and he has also started helping me with social media. So now he's part of the social media posting team. He's also written blogs. He has submitted to be on our boards. I assume that will happen very soon here, since he's been around so long. So Arvin would be a good person to reach out to. And Arvin, if you could potentially reach out to her and give her any direction that she may need. And Gunjan, Steve Taylor is the one that you should really reach out to kind of get your environment set up, either Steve Taylor or Sasha. So Steve and Sasha, if you could also reach out to her on LinkedIn to make sure she feels welcome and has what she needs to get going.
Oh, will do. Yeah.
We love having women join the team, so I want to make sure we don't lose her. Let's make her feel as welcome as possible and help her get her head into it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, she's the second one after you.
Joseph would be a good person too to mentor. So Joseph, Gunjan, Joseph could help as well. So just I would say get on the Discord channel, and if you're needing help, I'll reach out and say, hey, can somebody schedule some time with me? And then Steve, if you could share your calendar with her.
Yep, we'll do.
And why don't you do that in a LinkedIn message so she has it?
I will. I'll do it
Okay.
after the meeting. I gotta get logged into LinkedIn.
The other thing we need to do is we need to, Steve, can I share my screen?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we have these 3 items open in our DevOps milestone, which is 1 day past due. I'm going to leave them out there, but we do need to get them solved. I do know, Steve and Sasha, didn't you guys work on code spaces or something similar to that, or just a container for a local install of Ortelius?
So there's 2 parts to this thing. The code spaces would be a dedicated container in each repo where anybody on the internet with GitHub can come to GitHub and literally click on code spaces, and it'll fire up that that container with all the necessary tools for the developer to contribute.
Yeah.
So they
That's
can
what
raise
we-
a PR
that's what-
straight out of their branches and all
basically-
of that kind of thing. Yeah.
We need to use Gunjan as a guinea pig for that.
I've built a container on my dev environment that I'll send to her too, that she can fire up Ortelius and have it running on her local machine.
Okay.
If you want to go to the dev environment setup, the container is running there. Well, the container works from there. That's the repo I'm using to test on. Utkarsh gave me a list of developer tools, and I added those to the container. So if you want to go and demo it out, you can go to that repo. I'll put it in here.
Yeah, so go up to Ortelius, Tracy.
Okay, well, just before we do that, on another note, I created a new milestone for Argo CD. This one I want to be able to close soon, but I went ahead and pushed those. We had 4, I think, or 3 tickets, and I haven't spoken to Brad, so I've just pushed this off and I made a due date by June 30th, which is kind of out there. I think if we don't get it done by June 30th, we should just close these tickets. So that brings us to just focusing on these 2 milestones, and the XRP ledger is the most critical since we do have a deadline for that at the end of the month. And this is where the bounties are. So I assume for the next 4 weeks, what the team should be focused on is the XRP ledger code. So if you haven't dug into this and you haven't found something that you're interested in working on, reach out to Steve. I think he's done with the architecture. I'm guessing this list of issues will grow beyond 12. So watch for updates to that.
Yeah, and some of them have been taken care of by Ukarsh and Joseph. So
Okay.
we will make sure things get cleaned up and new ones added.
Yep. We need to keep this up to date as much as possible. And that's all I had.
Hello, welcome to the Computer Lab. So in this short video.
Yeah.
So I did look at the well, if everybody can stick around, I have a couple architecture things that I just want to dive into.
Can we go back to Sasha though? Sasha was going to show what he's gotten done.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to ask, I logged a ticket and the issues just for a plugin that you can add to Discord that can actually, it'll monitor the, I don't know if it's something that we need, but on the CDF, it'll like, because it's on YouTube or on Twitch, it'll monitor for the YouTube spaces that you want to monitor, and any new content will come, it'll automatically take that content and put it into the Discord channel of your choice, which is quite nice.
We need to do that.
We
Yeah,
do
we
that
should do
already.
that.
We already do
Oh,
that.
you do it?
We do?
Do you
Yeah.
do that with YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
Whenever something
Okay.
is posted to YouTube, we use ping cord
Pin code. Okay, cool. Just wanted
to
check.
go ahead and post.
Does it support Twitch? Does it support Twitch?
We don't, it probably does. We have not configured it. So here, let me
Okay.
share my screen.
Okay, because I was playing with a different one, and now I get all the content that's released by the CDF and Ortelius.
Yeah,
and
so
it'll be on Twitch or YouTube.
This is what ping cord will do. We'll post the YouTube one.
Okay, cool.
Oh, so that's getting posted into general.
That goes
Yeah.
into general, and we
Okay.
can change the it right now it seems to be the most like common place to put it. But whenever the YouTube video finishes uploading, it will send out this message.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen those. I just wanted to. Yeah, I didn't know if it supported Twitch.
I'd have to
I
look.
support Twitch.
It does.
Does it
Arvin?
support
I just
Twitch?
posted the link. Yeah, I just posted
Okay.
the link.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's good to know, because I mean, because I was just wondering if we had something that could check. It's nice when you've got like the CDF dropping events, and then it comes into the central place where we all, congregate, which is in Discord, right?
Yep. That's what we're trying to do is keep everything centralized in Discord. Now, if we need to break out the channel, so it's more easier to find, we can do that as well.
Yeah, because I was playing on my own server and I created one called CDF events, and then all the events come in there for CDF. And then I've got like Cloud Native Islamabad, which is I think Saim's. So
Right.
anytime they post a new event, it comes into my Cloud Native Islamabad channel, and CNCF events too, which is cool. It's really nice, right? And you always
Oh,
know
yeah.
what's going on. And I've got the Ortelius Twitch events also. When we release the next one, it'll come into my channel, which is cool. I can go back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to go in and hook up Twitch.
Okay, cool.
Or Arvin, I may have you do it.
I will try. Also, we have to do something about our
I may
meetup
have
group.
to bump your permissions on the server, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Also, can we tell the word about the meetup group because it is live now? Then we can create an event.
Okay. Yeah, that may be another thing we need to look at is bringing in meetups as well. So when somebody posts a new meetup that we can kind of keep an eye on, we can then add that to the Discord channel. I don't know if there's a bot for that to keep an eye on certain meetups.
Yeah, and Discord's also got some really great community power that you can use to do events right within Discord. It's got like a stage, and now obviously an announcement channel, that kind of stuff. I've been looking at it a lot. It's really powerful. It's pretty cool.
All right, cool.
I put it all in that issues ticket I created on Ortelius. There's screenshots and stuff in there.
Which issue is it?
I'll have to go and find it. I didn't know where to put it, so I think I put it under DevOps.
Oh,
I tagged Tracy.
yeah, I moved it to the outreach.
Oh, great.
I moved it because so the outreach team has its own repository altogether, so they're not in the. So there's an
Okay, cool.
Ortelius outreach repo, which is where all of our blogathon stuff is being managed, and I added it to that repo.
Yeah, I think it's just good to keep on top of like developments with Discord because it's so powerful, and they're bringing in so many cool. The new community stuff they brought in is amazing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me grab it from there.
And then I forgot to ask you, Sasha, you had an open ticket on the DevOps for documentation. Did you finish that up?
No, I haven't. I must still do that. Sorry, I must get to that one.
Is there something I can do on that? Or is that something you have to do? Is it just editing and cleanup work?
Yeah, it's just cleanup work, really. I just wanted to go through it. I basically just want to review it and make sure it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you do it. If you need any editing, what I usually do is bring it up completely out and let Grammarly go through it. So if you need me to do that, just assign it to me and I'll get it taken care of.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Tracy.
That way you can focus on the other ones that are more important. The
dev environment's pretty much done now. It's done.
Did we get the automation done where we automatically update the
the version?
Yeah, the version.
I've actually found an easier way, but I need to discuss it with you guys and see what you think.
Okay.
It's using a hook. Yeah, I don't know if this is the place to discuss it or not.
Sure, this is the way everybody learns. So let's just quickly review what the issue was. So let me share my screen again.
Yeah, cool.
If we go to Artifact Hub, this is another one that came up from Artifact Hub.
I put the findings in the issue for everybody to go and read. So, yeah, I just want to get consensus from everybody and see what you think about this and whether it's going to work or not, right?
So, yeah, so this doc comes from a README file. Is that correct, Steve?
Correct.
And we need to be conscious of keeping up what version we're on and why we updated. So right now we've been doing this manually and sometimes it doesn't get done because the process is automated, so it gets pushed out there, but this step isn't completed.
Yeah, so it's actually 77 pull requests behind.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, so if you go down, our latest version is 144.
Oh, so this we need to update this now.
Yeah, that needs to be updated to 144. So you have 140, you have 77 changes that you have to go through.
So that's why we did it this way last time.
Yep.
So yeah, if we could get that automated, that would be awesome. So that was the task. And Sasha,
what did you find?
Our brave hero took it on.
I use a website called it's a framework called Pre-Commit, and it's amazing. I use it for lots of things, for linting and for formatting and for so they have I also use it to auto-generate documentation for Helm charts and for Terraform, all that stuff you see that I'm doing with Terraform, where you see the auto-generated charts and all that kind of stuff, the auto-generated Terraform, I'm using pre-commit hooks, but you can make them as post-commit hooks or whatever, right? So the idea is that you would use this hook and the hook would go out and check. And if you look inside the issue, you'll see the hook that I've specified that'll actually do this for you. It's the chart hook that I use at work for doing auto documentation of a Helm chart. Yeah, and it works it's so easy. It works amazing, and it's maintained by a guy, a GitHub repo. But you're going to need to go to the issue, because in the issue I put the hook because there's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I've used pre-commit before for local stuff, but I've not looked at the Helm chart one.
Yeah, no, the Helm chart one is awesome. And like these hooks, you can use them. My understanding is you can actually also use them for, obviously for automation in your builds and your pipelines, right? So if you add these hooks to our pipelines, we would get all this versioning and stuff automatically done. We would get documentation of Helm charts done automatically for us. The Helm charts would be generated, the READMEs would be generated automatically.
Well, I say we use it. Makes sense to me.
There it is, that one, Norwood J Helm Docs. That's the one. And there's a version config that you can do somewhere in there. I saw it.
So do you want to do this, or would you like to work with somebody else to get this done?
Yeah, I'd like to work with someone. I would want to get Steve's feedback and see what he thinks and how if we could use it. Because I mean,
what do you think the difficulty level of doing this is? Is it just getting the hooks put in and testing it?
Yeah, that's it, really.
Gunjan, do you think you want to try this?
It's not very hard to,
Gunjan, would you like to work with Sasha on working on something like this? I think it'd be a good experience.
Yeah, you can work with me, not a problem.
And we won't keep you up all too late. Sasha's in South Africa, so he's a better time zone than me.
Yeah. Yes. So you see, it's just pure YAML. It's like straightforward. YAML gives you all the config keys you can use to pull in versions. At the bottom there, I think it actually says there. You can have the image tag, all of that.
Well, Gunjan, I don't know if she can't hear us or she stepped away. Sasha and Steve, when you reach out to her, would you suggest this be a good first project for her?
Yep.
Yeah, if you scroll down, Steve. Oh, yeah, sorry, Tracy. You'll see the chart. You'll see chart versioning.
Because what's going to happen is it's going to just automatically update our README, and then Artifact Hub is just going to pull the generated README, right?
Yeah.
That's the basic idea. It's a little more complicated than that because you have to update the README, then package the zip file that includes the README.
Okay.
It's doable.
Yeah.
You can see there it says chart.version, the version field from the charts.yaml file, right? So that's what it's reading. So it can definitely do it, right? Because we have a chart.yaml file, right? So it'll just spit out all the versions.
Yep. Yeah, that would be very handy to have. That would be a huge time saver.
And then there's a version badge, a chart type, a chart version badge, type version, app version badge. I mean, you can go crazy. It's cool.
That's another thing we should probably look at is, and we don't have to discuss it today, but I'll throw it out there, is we need to look at badging for the repos.
You can do it with this for the charts, definitely.
Yeah, there's other badging like build success, vulnerabilities. There's a whole bunch of things that we can bring in that we can add additional tags or badges to stuff.
So we should make a badge issue or what with all the
I'm
stuff we
doing it
want
right now.
I think we should make a badge issue and figure out what we want to include.
Yeah, Steve, take a look at that and see what you think. And anyone else who's on the call, please take a look at that. See what you think.
Yeah, I've used pre-commits. I got to look at this plugin.
Yeah, I use it a lot. It's awesome. I stuck it in the chat here now.
Okay, it's out there. Need to add badges is now in our DevOps project. I'm going to go ahead and move that milestone out 2 weeks.
Cool.
And we may want to, like the badging, we can split that into a future DevOps one.
Yeah, because there'll be badging for Helm charts, badging for the code part of things and that kind of stuff, right? So there'll be different types of badging, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
so
gonna add it.
just a
I'm
nice
adding it
nice to have.
I'm adding it to DevOps now so we can keep track of it because I would really like to get this kind of stuff out of the way. Instead of having it pushed off to the Rosanani project, since that's going to be busy too. So I think that we need to decide by the 15th what we think we can get done and what we have to push off and stop focusing on it.
Yeah.
My project.
We have three issues related to Argo CD.
I put the Argo CD in another project and I went ahead and pushed it off till June.
Okay.
But anybody can work on it any time. It doesn't mean it has to be wait till June. It just means that we're not gonna kill it, but we're not going to keep it in a DevOps project. It's not essential, but I think if somebody wants to do it, it's a worthy project to do and a good way to learn Argo CD.
I'd love to do it.
I need some help. I configured it in my machine, but it gives me error in one of the microservice.
I'll definitely take it on. And somebody can work, I can work with somebody
who
wants to learn.
Sasha, reach out to Brad too, because he's been working on it. We just don't ever get to get his input because he's in bed right now.
Yeah. I would love to work on that one because I'm going to learn a lot too.
All right.
I
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Thank you all.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.